Class inequality. I don't know how to screenshot it. What the fuck is that? Damn. Được rồi á. Hello. Okay. It's fine, right?
Use a pen. Nghe tối lắm, con đưa bút, con không vẽ nữa, con đưa bút cho chị đi. Không có gì, chắc của con bên dưới đâu. Tùy lên, đàn, tùy lên. Con tập đàn mà không cần sách cũng được.
Okay, so today we're gonna go through the overview of the SAT. Okay. I will give you the most comprehensive insight about that test today. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Oh my god. My god. Okay, so first I'm going to start off with the structure of this test. Look at this here. Here. We're gonna have two parts of the SAT. The first one is the verbal part, also known as reading and writing here, and the math. Alright, this part you will have 64 minutes to do 54 questions, and the math you will have 70 minutes to complete 44 questions. Alright, and each part will have two modules. Module 1 and Module 2. Of course, the Module 1 will be much more easy than the Module 2, and also math is also the same. It also has two modules, and easy, hard, easy, hard. Alright, so with I think it is in the math part you will have much more time to complete much less question, so the time for you, it will have the time for you to check the answer again to ensure the perfect score, right? And I want to talk a little bit about the adaptive structure and how it is score, how much score on each question. So each question on the SAT will have the score range from 10 to 30 points. Each question will have have a range have score range of 10 between 10 and max is 30 points. It also means that you will lose from 10 to 30 points, for 10 in minimum and 30 for maximum, if you miss one question, okay. And here I'm gonna talk about the adaptive structure. It is how here it is the adaptive mechanism, okay. Each part of the test you will have two modules, right? And first you will have to do module 1 to get to the module 2, and each module is given 27 minutes for the verbal part, and 35, no, it will be 32 minutes for each module here. And on the math part you will have 35 min for each module. You will have to do will have to complete the module 1 to get to the module 2, right? So on the module 1 it will have mixed level. We will have mixed questions of all level, starting from the very easy to the very hard on the end and in the middle. So it will be, they will start to filter, I will use that word, filter, the students, the test takers, right from the module 1. If you do good at the module 1, I would say it's about 24 over 27 question. You get it right, 24 questions. Alright. You will get to the module 2, which has a hard level, and you will have a chance to reach to the top, to the perfect score of 800. Otherwise you will get to the module 2 easy version, alright, and your score will be limited. Your score will be it will be limited, and you will never get past 1500 if you get to the module to the easy version of module 2. Never get past that level. Okay. And I would say if you do like about to get it to the easy version of module 2, you will you will get like 15 or less. All right, 15 or less. And because you already know that each question have a score range from 10 to 30 points. Right? And do you have any question about this?
No.
Right, I would say that each question don't have a fixed value or point, right? It depends. Sometimes easy question will have 10 points value, and also it can have 30 points value. It depends on you. And I have to say that the way your score is given, right? How your score is given. Your performance will be based on other. All right, your score will be given based on your performance compared to other competitors. I say each phase, each test on the June, for example, on the June test, each test day will have a number of competitors, right? And your performance will be tested, will be and the system will compare your performance with other to give you your score. All right, your score is given based on your performance compared to others. And I would say that I would take a very simple example here. If you're doing very good, you get many hard question, many difficult question right, and the system are marking you at the 1550 level, and suddenly you get one question wrong, one easy question wrong. I say the writing question, for example, and that one wrong question will cost you at least 20 points of value. Yes, it will cost you at least 20 points of value in that situation. So each question will not have a fixed value of point. So not necessarily the hard question will have a high value of points, and the easy question will have less value of point. All right. It is all based on your performance. Okay. Do you get that?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is complicated, right? So what you need to do is to never get get the easy question wrong. Okay, it will cost you many value of points, and sometimes it equals the hard question. Okay, so be careful with that. Do you have any question?
No.
Okay, so we're gonna rush through the kind of question you will encounter in that test. Okay. Here, I'm gonna give you a sample of score. So when you get your score, you will be given that here, that page here. You will be given this, and it has all the information or about your performance. Here you can see that this test taker have the perfect score, right? He's doing very well. He's doing it perfect, right? He gets all the I will say the blank here. Everything is full, right? And here is the verbal part, right? Here's the math. Okay, and you can see that it is broken down into 4 parts here. First is craft and structure. I will zoom it out for you to see. Oh my god. Oh, can you see the small
I can.
Okay, first one is the information and ideas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it will consist it consists of 26. It will make up the 26% of the test, right? 26%. You can see that. Can you see that? Okay, 12 to 14 questions.
I only see the blank. I don't see anything.
You don't see anything? Really?
No.
Okay, so
No.
I will upload it again. For some reason I can just here. Is that big enough? Okay, here
Yeah, I can see.
you can see the information and ideas here. Can you see it? And
Okay.
it will make up for 26% of the test section. It equals 12 to 14. It is equivalent to 12 to 14 questions. Okay, and here craft and structure, it will make up for 28%, and here expression ideas 20%, standard English convention 26%. Alright, so you can see that the part that make up for the biggest share of the test is the craft and structure, right? For 26% with 26%, 28, right? So
Yeah.
on the math, you will have algebra 35%, and advanced math 35% also, problem solving and data analysis 15%, geometry and trigonometry 15%. Okay, so we're gonna rush through the kind of question for big zone of knowledge in the verbal section, and after that we're gonna analyzing the math section. All right, verbal. First will be I'm gonna go through the kind of question according to the order you will do in the real test. Okay, so the first part is craft and structure. So it consists of, the first one is word in context. This kind of question I already mentioned you the last lesson, right? Did you remember it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here I will take you the example of the word in context. Here. Right. Here is the word in context question. You will have to find the suitable word for the blank here, right? Okay.
Yeah.
The next kind of question you will encounter in the craft structure is structure and sense question. Structure. No. No. It's not. No, it's not that. Hey, I need to check because I need to check it for a little bit. Oh, my phone's so slow. Oh, it is text structure and purpose. Text structure and purpose. Here, this kind of question will ask you to for the main purpose of the text. Alright, and you will need to read for the structure and the the activation of the ideas and how the author interprets his idea. Okay, and in that kind of question they also test you the function of a sentence. Here they will underline a question from the text and ask you to for the function of that portion. Okay, how it will how does that sentence means in the context of the paragraph. Alright, did you see that? And how you approach that kind of question is to analyze the structure and how it means, how each sentence means if it is combined together. Right, and the next and the last kind of question in the big zone of knowledge here is the cross-text connections, which is also the hardest kind of question in that zone of knowledge. Okay, cross-text connection. Here, in this question, you will be given two texts of two different author talking about maybe the same problem, and you will have to understand, comprehend what two author is talking about and their opinion. I say their opinion will sometimes differ from each other, and sometimes it is the same. Okay, you have understand the nuance, right? The nuance, the tone of each author. And it that's a very tricky question. The example I give you here, they ask the author of text 2 how the author of text 2 will respond to the research discussed in text 1. So can you tell me the order you will do in that kind of question? The order you will read, text 1 or text 2 first?
Text 1.
According to me, according to many experts, I think they advise you to read text to first for this for that way of question, because I just want to understand how the opinion of the author in text to first, because it is what matters, and I'm gonna go back to the research discussed in text 1 later. Okay, if you read the text 1 first, you will be distracted by many peripheral information. All right, and you will not get to the point. So if they ask for about the opinion of the author of text 2, you should read the text 2 first and go back to the text 1 later. Okay, so that's the best way to approach this kind of question. Okay, we're gonna go to the second big zone of knowledge in the verbal part, which is information and ideas. Information and ideas. Alright. First, I will start with command of evidence question. Okay, it typically has two kinds. First one is textual, and the second one is quantitative. The textual, also known as the non-table question, and the quantitative, also known as the table including question. Okay, textual. Here. Two kinds, textual and quantitative. In the textual question, you will need to analyze the hypothesis given, and on the other hand, quantitative question requires you to read the table, to analyze the numbers in the table. Okay. And why it is called command of evidence? Can you tell me why? Can you tell me why it is called command of evidence? Here.
I'm not too sure. I was taking notes.
What?
Too sure on why.
I didn't hear you. Can you talk?
Em không biết.
You don't know, okay? All right.
Okay, yeah.
Because it requires you to find the evidence for the hypothesis. The hypothesis could be right and could be wrong, right?
Yeah.
So they will requires you to find the answer that will support or weaken the underlying claim. Alright. In that question, it is the support kind, right? And also it will have the weaken kind of question. It requires you to find the answer that weaken the claim. And here is the hypothesis. Hypothesis. The underlined part is hypothesis. So it could be right or wrong, right? Could be right. Could be right or wrong. Okay, so that is why it is called the command of evidence. Are you clear?
I am, yeah.
So no. The next kind of question in that big part is the inference. No, I would say the main idea first. Well, I need to check it. The main idea, yeah. Main idea and details. What? By some way I always miss an idea. Main details. Main idea and details. First one is the main idea question. Here, you will have to read to get the gist of the text, right? And you will have to find the right paraphrase of the idea of the text here. It is a very tricky question, I think. And I think the way to do that kind of question is very similar to the later kind, the inference question. It is very similar. Okay, so next is the details question. Details here. They will ask you for the details for specific information on the text. Here you can see that in this question they asking how are the characters on Friends different from real people. and you will have to find that information in the text here, and to answer that, to pick the right question, to pick the right answer. Very straightforward, right? Okay. The last kind of question in that big zone is inference. As I've said before, it is very similar to the main idea question. Very similar to that question. It will require you to infer, but actually the answer is always something already mentioned in the text. And if the answer creates something so new, so strange from the text, it is certainly wrong. You don't use the common sense, you don't use your own knowledge to do that kind of question, but you have to read the text and find the evidence in it, and so you have to pick the most possible, most feasible answer according to the information given in the text. So it is called evidence based, not your knowledge based, right? Don't use tips. I will have the tips here. Tips. Don't use your own knowledge and everything is question based. Oh my god, fuck. It's question based. It's question based. SAT. Very tricky. You go again. Okay, you go again. Okay, you're here. Okay. Can you hear me? Could you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Continue with what I'm talking here. Tips. I'm gonna write it again. Okay. do not use your own knowledge. Everything is question based. The right answer is question based. The wrong answer is not. Okay. The wrong answer is not a feasible question, feasible statement. Right. If you can use your imagination to do that question, the SAT will have no meaning. It will have no meaning if you can use your imagination to infer a statement. Okay. So in that way, it will have many right answer, many correct answer. Okay, so the next big zone of knowledge is, oh, I can go back because it is already standard English conventions. Okay, standard English convention. Okay. It will have the boundaries kind of question. When you take the grammar class, you take the grammar lesson in the class, you already know about the punctuation and the structure, right? Tell me all the punctuation you know. Can you tell me?
So like period, semicolon, that's actually colon, comma,
Okay.
question mark, exclamation mark.
Right.
I forgot what they're called for a moment.
Explanation.
Parentheses.
Right. Hypothesis. Okay. So almost all of the punctuation you have mentioned is tested in the SAT. So you will have to know how all that punctuation is used. Okay. Will have to know it first to do that kind of question. Here I would take the example here. Boundaries question here. I will do a poll here. You need to answer that, okay? Choose the right answer. Right, so B is the correct answer. You can see here is a complex sentence, and the first clause is a dependent clause, right? And after the comma is the main clause, right? So the B is the correct answer. And if you do not use any punctuation between those clauses, it will be the run-on error, right? And you can't connect to independent. You can connect independent and main clause with an and, right? You can do that, and you can do that also. So yeah, it will test you it will test your grammar knowledge, and you will have to choose the answer that is grammatically correct. And also they will test you the form and sense. Question, I mean structure. It should be structure. Here is example. Choose the answer for me. Okay, choose the right answer for me. See. Tell me why you choose C is the right answer. Can you tell me why?
There was a landowner's accidental discovery of a top network. Was it the right answer? Was because it sounded more like a sentence by itself. And the second one, the accidental discovery of top network was made by a landowners. I just trust my guts.
Oh, I really can't hear you. Why it's so.
The other three options didn't make as much sense to me, so I chose C.
Okay. I have to read here. Today, the ancient stone tombs at New Garage are regarded as one of Ireland's cultural treasures. right, in reference to here. Yet the new garage was hidden from sight until the 1600s when something happened. When first you look at the choice A, there was a landowner's accidentally discovery of the Loom network. It sounds correct. Look at the the choice B here. The accidental discovery of the Loom network was made by a landowner, the landowner. So it is the kind of initial modifier concept, right? Do you know what is initial modifier?
No.
Okay, so basically the it will have the first, you will have a complex sentence. You know, you already what is a complex sentence, right?
Yeah.
Okay, first part is the independent clause, and the second part will be main clause, right? The main clause will always have, is always a complete sentence, right? With subject, verb, and object, right? Okay, main clause is always a complete sentence, and the independent clause could be an initial modifier. Initial modifier. Okay, and the initial modifier will be in the verbing form. It will be in the verbing form. Okay, and here is a kind of initial modifier. And the verb in the initial modifier part will represent the action of the subject here. Do you get that? So according to that principle, can you tell me who excavate the area? Who can possibly excavate the area?
The landowner. The
Okay,
landowner.
so yeah, so the Loom network can excavate the area, right? So the only possible answer is D, the landowner, a landowner. If you only read the answer alone, you will see all that choice here makes sense, right? It all means the same. It is just paraphrased differently, okay? But this here is grammatically correct. They use the right section. It is stated in the right order. Okay. So okay, I'm gonna end. Okay, so it is called structure and sense. Okay, so that is why it has a sense here. You will have the meaning. It is also correct. It has to be correct in terms of meaning also, besides the structure. Okay, next. I have to look at that. Oh my god, sao nó chậm ta. The last big zone here is expression of ideas. Expressions of ideas. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you the score again for you to catch up with the big picture of the test. Wait for me a bit here. We already go through the information and ideas, graph structure, standard English convention, and here the last part is expression of ideas. So this part will consist of first is the transition questions. You already know the simple conjunction, right? Can you tell me what kind of conjunction is available? Can you tell me?
So like before, if so it's like before, right?
No, it has much better. It has much more than that. But I only require you
okay.
to list several conjunctions you know.
Okay. Therefore, however, and since and yeah, that's conjunction, right?
Yes.
Therefore, however, and since because.
Okay, so it has three groups, right? The contrast is however, nevertheless, conversely. The cause and effect is thus, therefore, consequently. And the addition, exemplification, is moreover, furthermore, for instance, right? And that kind of question you will have to understand the interconnection, the relationship between the sentences in the text, and find the right conjunction to fill in the blank. So here I will give you the sentence, the example. Transition here. What? Wait, oh my god. Why don't I? Oh my god, I forgot to. So wait for me. I will find the transition sentence. I will have find the example in the internet. What? Oh my god, forgot about it. So, oh, I forgot. I already forgot to find it. So we're just gonna continue. Okay, proceed. The next kind of question is rhetorical synthesis. Rhetorical synthesis. Basically, that kind of question will requires you to summarize the information according to what is required in the question. Oh, I really have to find the rhetorical synthesis SAT question. Wait for me a bit. Download here. No. Documents. Okay. So here I'm gonna just go back to the transition first. I already find the example. Here's the example of the transition question. Okay, you can see here there are two sentences in that example, and you will have to understand the meaning, the nuance, the tone of each sentence to find the right answer, right? You can see that those two sentences here contradict each other. The first one, they says that most other female wood ducks visited dozens of nesting sites before laying eggs, and the second says the subject here visited only a select few nesting sites before laying her own eggs. So the second sentence mention an exception to the general to the generalization in the first sentence, right? So the right word will be by contrast. So yeah, that's the way you do the transition sentence. Okay, you need to take note here a bit. It'll be 3 groups. First is contrast. The contrast word will be however, nevertheless. Wait. Nevertheless. But, right, it is a conjunction. Oh, is but a conjunction? Wait, I need to check it. But yes, but is a coordinating conjunction. Alright, so you can put but here, and conversely, and by contrast, right, the second group is, I need to move it down, cause and effect. It presents causal relationship between 2 sentences. It has thus, therefore, consequently, so. Okay. Third is for the addition and why addition or exemplification. It got moreover, furthermore, for instance. Moreover, furthermore, for instance. For example, okay, right, we're gonna go to the next kind of question, to the last kind of question in all the verbal part here, is the rhetorical synthesis. It's it for me, that kind of question always takes me a lot of time to do it, because with the hard question I have to read through all the bullet points, and then I go to the next, to the question part, and some hard question also requires me to double check the facts for each answer. So if you encounter a completely new question, you will have it certainly will takes you a lot of time. Here I will take you an example here. Here it's a bit blurred, but can you see it? Can you see it clearly? Okay. It gives you the bullet points here, and of course you will have to read their requirements. Here is the requirement. It is very important to read the requirement because it plays the role as I have to say a map, a guide for you to pick the right answer. Okay. If I give you the same notes, but I just need to change the requirements a bit, the answer will be a totally different answer. Okay. So the requirement is very important. So here it asks you to present the primary aim of the research study, and you will need to read the notes to find the right answer for that. Okay. It takes a lot of time if it is new to you. Okay, so you do that question for me. All right. I'll make a poll here. You need to pick it. Okay, very quick. Can you tell me why you pick so fast? Are you confident with your pick?
It asks me to present the primary aim of the research study.
Okay.
And all the other options are more of analyze and what they have done to
Okay.
present
To what?
to solve the primary aim that the research study has. The first option explains more about what the research team wanted to achieve.
Okay. Actually, I have to say that your mic is so. I mean, I think the sound is very intermittent, and I can't hear you clearly. I don't know what is the problem with your internet connection or something, but really you really need to improve that the next lesson. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Here they say that I think it's a very simple question, because you only sometimes you for the easy question you only need to read the requirement to pick the right answer without reading the notes. Yeah, it for example, this question, they ask for the primary aim of the research study. So you read through, you can read the four choice here. Team wanted to better understand the mechanics behind, yet cohesive. It seems the right answer. Okay. Look at the B. Look at the B. The choice B. Researchers used that simulated. Okay, you can see that the choice B are asking are talking about the way the researchers conduct their research, right? And the choice C found that the structures became stiffer. So basically, this choice presents the um, the result of the study, right? It presents the result of the study. And the choice D, as analyzed by Birdness, are uniquely yet cohesive. It also presents the result, right? So choice A is the only answer that match the requirements here. And for some hard question, you have to read all the bullet points. But for some easy like this, you only need to read the requirements, which is already enough for you to pick the answer. Okay. So I'm gonna go to the math part. Wait for me.
We have 2 minutes remaining in this lesson.
All right. So we can just rejoin. I'm gonna end it and create a new class for you. Okay. Micro, very important. For the math part, could you hear me? For the math part, you also has 4 big zone of knowledge. I'm gonna present it, the score here again. The score here. 4 parts. Algebra. Because the math part needs to be so specific, so I will just rush through the zone of knowledge and the concepts you need to know. Okay. And I think you can also relate what I talk to the knowledge you learned in the class. Okay. First is algebra. It will make up for 35% of the test. It consists of equation. For equation, linear equations. No, wait. Can you wait for me a bit? Okay, so algebra accounts for 35%, equivalent to 13 to 15 questions. This domain focuses entirely on linear relationships and their representations as straight line. Okay. Here it is, of course, linear equation is only in one variable. It has two forms, right? It's y and x, but in this part, the question type, they will present the x in equations in only one variable, x. Okay. First is linear equation, right? I have to add the linear to be specific. Linear equations. And next is the systems of two linear equations. Systems of two linear equations. You already know the representation of a system of two linear equation is two straight line. It can intersect each other, it can parallel each other, and it can be the same line, right? Okay, so the next concept we need to know is linear inequalities. Linear inequalities. Linear inequalities. Of course, it could be one or two variables. Okay, the second domain will be advanced math. Here, advanced math here. What? I own advanced math. Okay. Here, this domain deals with quadratics, polynomials, and exponential functions. In your secondary school, you're in grade 9, right? Did they already teach you about the quadratics? Not yet. polynomials, exponential functions. It has a form like this: a power n. Not yet. Okay, so I will teach you when we come to that domain. Okay, I will teach you everything from the start. Okay, so here I will say I will write it here: quadratics. You need to know about quadratics. You need to know about polynomials. You need to know about exponential functions. Okay. It can be solved. All of this can be solved either by hand or by using Desmos. Do you know what is Desmos? Do you know it? You already know it, right? You can use that tool for quick calculation, and I think it is very useful. Okay, very supportive for us. And next we're gonna move to you already know about graph, right? The graph. Okay. So the domain 3 is problem solving and data analysis. Problem solving, the domain 3 here. You can see it here. Here. Problem solving and data analysis. It will account for 15%, equivalent to 5 to 7 questions. This section tests word problem comprehension. Word problem comprehension. You can see that there's a interconnection between the math part and the verbal part. In the verbal part, you will find a kind of question related to numbers, that is quantitative command of evidence, right? And in the math part, you also find a word problem comprehension in the problem solving data. Okay, so it will test you the word problem comprehension, data literacy, and basic statistics. Okay, so this part you will need to know about ratios. You will need to about rates. You will need to know about proportional relationships. Actually, I have to tell you that the math part of the SAT is so easy, and I'm a mathematics major in my gifted high school, so don't worry, I can help you to gain at least 780 in that part. Okay, at least 780. That's our goal. That's our goal. And unit conversion. You will have to know some simple units. Uh, you have to convert the square feet to square inches. For example, you will need to convert the time from the hours to minutes, for example. Okay, I'll introduce you later about units. Okay, that's very important. Units conversion. And percentages. You have to know about percentages. Okay, and for the data part, here is the problem solving part. Okay, and the data part, you have to know about the measures of center and spread. Did you learn about it in class? It has mean. Did you hear about mean, median, mode, range, or standard deviation? Okay. So yeah, that's what we need to know. That's what the data analysis is about in SAT. Okay, you will need to know about mean, the very basic concepts in data analysis. Median, what is mode, what is range, what is standard deviation. Yeah. And of course, you already need to know a bit about models and scatter plots. Models and scatter plots. Very basic concept. Okay. I can observe that recently the SAT do not test about the scatter plots. They rarely. I only encounter just one scatter plots question in the March SAT in Vietnam. And what? What? Do you raise your hand? Okay. So, oh my god, I forgot to mention this. The probability and conditional probability. Probability and conditional probability. Yeah, that's very tricky, but I think about the probability or conditional probability, the only kind of question they test, the only motive they use is to give you the tables. the two-way frequency tables, and then they will, in some way, by some way, they will trick you to with the denominator. I mean, they will create a sample space, and they will trick you with that, with the conditional probability. You will have to be careful with the sample space when you do that kind of question. Okay. And the domain 4 is geometry and trigonometry. Okay, they will test you about area and volume formulas. And lines, angles, and triangles. Here is the three dimension, right? And here is the 2 dimensions. All right. They also test you about circle, and the basic shape. Okay, the basic shape will have the rectangular, square, yeah. And that's it. That's all about the math part. And I've already mentioned before, I will mention every type of question according to the order you do in the real test. So I will just summarize it here. In the verbal part, I will not summarize the math part because it is not fixed. They can test you in whatever order, but in verbal part you have a specific order in every test, in every version. Okay. First, from question 1 to question 4, you will have the word in context question. This is the first kind of question you encounter in the SAT. Okay, so from the 5 to the 10, you will encounter from the details, main purpose này, function of sentence. I mean, it's all the craft and structure zone of knowledge, right? The domain zone, craft and structure, and cross-stack connection. It could be also about a little bit in the information and ideas domain, but it only has the details and main idea question. And only from the 10 to the 15 you encounter the command of evidence. and after that you will get the inference. And from the 15 to the 24 you will encounter the what I say, you will encounter the English standard convention questions. They test you about the boundaries, the structure and sense, right? And from the 40 to 27, it will test you to the last domain of the test is the expression of ideas, right? It consists of transition, and then the last questions in the verbal part will be rhetorical synthesis. It lies in the last part, okay? Rhetorical synthesis always lies in the last part of the text. And each module will repeat that structure, okay? The module 1 will have this structure and it will repeat in the module 2 with a harder level, okay? So you understand? I will talk a bit about how you, for the last part of this lesson today, I'm gonna talk a bit about how you can do the error log, and also here I need to find the error log for you for the question. The lesson today is a bit long because I have to talk everything about SAT. Wait. Oh wait. I need to find an error log sample in the internet. Error log sample here. Wait, I have to move it to the files. Documents, SAT, word in context, here. Okay, here. Here, it's a bit blurred, but oh my god, can you see that? Oh my god, it's so blurred, unfortunately. I think that's the best sample I can find on the internet. You can just go and search it on the internet, the error log sample, okay? But here, if you can see, they will make a table, and it's every time you get one question wrong, you will put it in the error log. Here they have a column mentioning the kind of question they get wrong. That is the word in context here, and here is the question itself, the image. You can put it there, and it is that column here is the why they get it wrong. Okay, and they write here is không hiểu đề. Do you know không hiểu đề mean? Okay, and they have a column explain it more in details. Tại sao, it means why, right? Why, and how they can improve that in that column. So basically you get the gist of doing an error log, right? You can revise better, and sometimes when you do enough much, you get, when you study SAT for a long time, like several months for example, you will know that you always get one kind of question wrong. You will have one mistake again and again if you do not make an error log, because yeah. So the way we avoid repeating our mistakes is to do an error log. Okay, and I will introduce you to the resources to do the SAT resources. Recently I know about Loom. That is a website, and I know about the Bluebook Plus. It is the name of the website. Okay, you will do the question, they have the question bank free, and they also have the test. Maybe you can you need to do they will charge you for the practice test, but the question bank is for free. Okay, and one prep XYZ, one prep XYZ. Okay, and you can find much more resources on Telegram or some other platform. But okay, that's and I have to say a bit about how you will what you will bring on the test day. Okay, on the test day you can either use your own computer, your own laptop, or you can borrow it from the test center, but I advise you to bring your own, and also a charge with you. Okay, in case your laptop run down the battery. Okay, and on the test day you will need to install the app Bluebook, which is the official app from the organization that creates that test, the college board. It is official from college board, the organization that creates this test. Okay, and you will need to install this app. So after the lesson today, I need you to install the Bluebook in your laptop, and you will use that laptop. You will bring it in the test day with you. Okay, you install this app and it will have some practice tests. I advise you to do the four most recent tests on the Bluebook. Okay, for you to get the structure, to familiarize yourself with the structure of the SAT. Okay, so that's it. That's all you need to do. This is obliged to install. Okay, you need to install this app to do the SAT. Okay, so yeah, that's the lesson today. Do you have any question? Okay, so that's already late, so I'm gonna end this lesson today. Good night, good evening, good night, bye bye.
Cảm ơn ạ.
Okay, you're welcome.